Right now, crypto, I think by the end of 2025 is going to be an uncharted territory. I just don't see any way around this right now. You have all these bullish activities happening. It's unbelievable. You have Garlinghouse. I didn't report on this the other day, but I probably should have. But Garlinghouse is taking meetings at the White House. Is that accurate? Right? This is what I saw in a lot of articles. Then Ripple is the biggest, has been for the last few years, one of the biggest lobbyers for crypto. XRP, there's enough. I don't understand that divide there between XRP and Bitcoin. A lot of people that have XRP have Bitcoin. A lot of people that have Bitcoin got into XRP, and we all started at different places. But anyway, there's more than enough money to go around. Bitcoin, what more do you want? Bitcoin is going to be probably conscripted by a lot of nations around the world. You have bankers now talking about bringing Bitcoin in, although some seem to be against it. XRP, I think is going to be more easily absorbed. I do. It's literally made for the banks. This is what the people at Ripple said. OK, they said it. We showed the articles. People were able to see that, save it. So that's no debating. Yes, regular people can have XRP and use the XRPL. Yes, all that jazz. But it wasn't made for that. OK, so I think it's going to be more easily absorbable into the systems. That's super bullish. Not to mention interbank payments, real world asset, tokenization. Ripple's going to go deep with that. The whole AI thing, Ripple's going to go deep with that. They already talked about all of this. Payroll, offline QR code payments. People don't even understand how deep that's going to go. You understand, with offline QR code payments and being one of the earliest pioneers in it. Yes, Ripple was. They had a whole project they were doing years ago down in Mexico, and then they stopped it. But we never heard what the results of that experimentation was. But if we're going to go by examples of what already has been, everybody else was satisfied with all of the different experimentations and pilots, etc., that Ripple has done. Here's one example: Santander. Years ago, when Ripple was working with Santander, I'm pretty sure it was Santander, they were doing some kind of stablecoin project for them and they let them test it out. They were very, very satisfied with that. That was like maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, something like that. So that's just one. There's been many. So I'm going to err on the side of that experimentation in Mexico was probably very, very satisfactory. It was probably very good. So anyway, that's going to be huge. And why? Because if you want to have true global reach, right, which Ripple has done a lot of things, even did they acquire that company? It was some company like in Switzerland or merged with it, something like that actually extended their global reach. But anyway, circling back around, if you want to have true global reach, which you need in order to tap into capital and value that has never been tapped into before, you need to get into regions where the internet may not be great. Cell phone tower establishment may not be great. That's where offline QR code activity is really, really going to shine. So we're talking about a lot of various places in Latin America, a lot of various places in Africa, all over the globe, right? So they will be able to reach their hands in there and tap into that value. Now, that goes back to the whole RWA thing. Don't forget. Listen, none of this is financial advice. I'm just a humble researcher. I put this stuff on the table. What you do with it is up to you. But if you're here for the big money, that RWA flood has to be on your radar. It has to be. Don't get me wrong. Interbank payments should make that price absolutely explode unbelievably. That's one. There's a second wave that is to come. I don't know when. All right. Nobody knows when, but they're rushing it right now. You can visibly observe the rush by Ripple, BlackRock, all of these different big entities into RWA every day now. More and more, we're seeing articles on real world asset tokenization. OK, that's a lot of value. They're trying to bring everything to these bank coin chain, everything. All right. And if you're going to have Garlinghouse meeting with very powerful political figures, that could be significant. It could be. But, well, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, when you're talking about offline QR code tracking payments, implementations of any kind where it can happen offline, now you can tap into regions where they're pulling resources out the ground, tokenizing it. They have certain other things that they can move around. Even if we're looking at things that could be NFT'd, right? A lot of people around the world live in regions. They have antiques that others do not have. All right. They can tokenize that. Now they're making money off that money, that value flowing across chain. That could be a huge surge. Now, another thing that was reported that people need to keep in mind, they were talking about how, I said this like maybe a month ago. I was talking about how it seemed to me from what I've been seeing is, like I said, people reach out to me all the time in a lot of different ways, folks. A lot of different ways. All right. Some of them a little bit scary. I'm not going to lie to you, because people will hunt you down for sure. But anyway, I'm telling you. All right. So now the youth, I was talking about how the youth seem to be, I'm talking about people from 18 to 32. OK, 18 to 32. That's what I consider the youth, 18 to 32. All right. Have really taken a liking to DLT technology, the digital wallets. They love it. They love the whole meme coin thing. Listen, you want to be real. The meme coin thing is a good segue over from another thing that the youth that I've personally observed the youth taking a hold of. I don't think is a good thing, but hey, to each his own. The youth have to really taken up with that whole sports gambling thing. You see all these young streamers talking about and pushing that that gambling stuff on the youth. I don't gamble. I don't gamble. I don't do that. I wasn't raised like that, but that's just my way. Okay. This is how my father and my mother raised me. Okay. To each his own. I'm not saying anything negative about gambling, but I'm just saying the youth have really been taken up with that. So then you go over to something like meme coins, a little bit similar, a little bit different, but there's this correlation there. There is easy for them to get into that idea of fast money to be made. And then so there's that little dynamic. But it's also, and that's not what's important here. What's important is they're getting used to the technology because of that correlation, because of that segue over, that bridge over from the sports gambling apps and stuff like that they're streamers, all these popular streamers, a lot of them pushing to meme coins. And then it's going to bridge from meme coins, I believe, as they start to mature and things like that into legit crypto projects. But they're learning how the technology works. They're learning how to use these things. They're getting conditioned that this is just another mechanism to use in life. That could be huge. Why? Wait a minute. If you made it this far, there was a point I wanted to get to. Now, remember, those youth are supposed to get handed to them a vast ocean of value from what these bigger entities are calling the boomer generations. You know, there's this big generational wealth transfer that is to come that they've been talking about for like 3 years. It's been trickling out there, but not the ocean hasn't flooded the land, so to speak, just yet. So when those youth get that inheritance or whatever you're going to call it, that could easily make it into DLT technology. That can make it into the bank coins. That can make it into this whole NFT sphere. A lot of things they're going to inherit. It's not just going to be raw capital. It's going to be antiques and art pieces and things like that they can then tokenize. That's going to be huge. So you see how there's this progression. There's these leaps that are happening that aim right at the bank coins, right at DLT technology. You'll say, well, Nick, the bank coins and NFTs, isn't that like Ethereum thing? Solana is great with NFTs, right? Algorand is great when it comes to NFTs. Hedera was great when it comes to NFTs. I had to say I don't know what any of these are doing now with NFTs, right? But with the NFT sphere, I'm going to assume that they have, and I shouldn't assume, but I'm going to assume that they have advanced from 2 years ago, right? They're ready. They're ready. So yes, it definitely will have a huge impact on the bank coins. And once again, Ripple, although they become very, very quiet with a lot of their activities, once they start speaking about something, they made it clear they wanted to go heavy and hard with RWA tokenization. And when they say something, I take it seriously. OK, so now what's happening? We're also witnessing a changing of the guard. No pun intended, changing of the guard. And so and that makes me think of Christine Lagarde, which we have this article here. And I'm jumping around a little bit today. I have to change up the energy today to keep me interested to make the video. OK, so now you have the changing of the guard happening with the energy of crypto, where it's a beautiful thing where the positive energies are now dominating. The new season is in, the old cycle is over, has ended. And more and more, we're going to start to see the ousting of the thinking. It's not just the people, but the thinking of people like Gary Gensler, the thinking of people like Christine Lagarde, who now is standing in the way, it seems, of Bitcoin becoming some sort of part or to be utilized by the ECB. This article is titled, ECB President Confident Bitcoin Will Not Enter Central Bank Reserves. Confident. Why would you say that? Why would you not move to allow the people, your people, to thrive off of Bitcoin? They're going to do it anyway, with or without your bank's utilization of such. The people are always going to find a way. But this type of thinking right here is going away. I just wanted to point that out. More and more, you're going to see that what these higher entities want, these ones who've been controlling the people and keeping them down, their desires are going to be less and less relevant. And that's a great thing. You have a lot of other big bankers coming out saying, we want Bitcoin. A lot of banks have praised XRP over the years. You can look that up. Bank of America, a lot of other ones, SBI. We're going to see this huge push going on between XRP, Bitcoin, a lot of other ones also, Solana, Chainlink, Theyre, all of these hardworking companies are going to start to see their native tokens push more and more, their chains being pushed more and more for utilization, and as being the best of the best, something that is the future of technology. Now, another interesting thing I want to throw on the table. I know I'm giving you a lot today, all right, but that's what I'm here to do. And then we'll get back to the regular style of video, maybe tomorrow or something like that. Quantum. Listen, David Schwartz is hilarious. David Schwartz was talking about, quantum proofing certain systems, etc., and how quantum computing today is not something to be concerned about, because quantum computing it seems like this is his, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but these are his thoughts, that is always like 6 years away from being done and ready to be unleashed. However, I will say I'm about to make a post in the members only section. And I only do this once in a while when it comes to quantum computing, but I believe it's going to be very, very important in the future. But quantum computing actually is moving very, very quickly. I'm not sure how much Mr. Schwartz is keeping up with that. No one person can keep up with everything, but it's actually making huge amounts of progress. Here's the thing. I released a list, and a lot of chains have already been working for years on quantum proofing. Some of them are already quantum proof, so they're not worried about this at all. But what they're going to do, what's going to be good, is they're going to utilize quantum computing. I guarantee, especially when it comes to a lot of these governmental projects. Listen, let me segue from that into this. That's a perfect little bridge right there. Government. A lot of these DLT chains are going to see a lot of activity on them that's going to make them super bullish, because they're going to be used to track things. Now, I saw an article come out recently that sounded like something I was saying 2 years ago. I told you. Remember 2 years ago, I showed you all these documents about the Pentagon and a lot of various governmental entities that were wasting money. Remember that? I showed it all. This was before, when nobody was really even talking about that. Now I know it's all the rage, because now apparently they want to know what the government's doing with money. We'll see if that's going to be real or not. But 2 years ago, I was on this and I showed you how there was billions of dollars just going missing. Even the Pentagon was failing audits and things like that, which I told you that there are entities that don't like that. They don't want that money played with, and they feel like that certain bounds have been overstepped. So they're going to use DLT technology to track that. Yeah. And now you see it being pushed, and I'm like, whoa, we call this. So now it's getting real. That's going to be super bullish. And another reason why a lot of these chains are trying to get close to certain world powers now. Are you paying attention to that? They're all taking these meetings with governments around the world. Why now? They're all taking meetings with these big bankers, which the big bankers and governments a lot of the times are like this. They're intertwined. Why now? I'm telling you, the world as we know it is about to change. There's going to be a lot of capital flooding in. This is why. So, a lot of these entities now can so confidently declare, oh, Bitcoin's going to explode. And also, I'm hearing this about XRP. Folks, let me tell you, I've been in here for a while now. OK, I've never heard certain entities so bullish on XRP in my life. Why now? They know something is coming, and they know that by now. There's so much I want to say, but let me stick to some of these articles here, some of these article topics. So The energies of crypto are changing. Now, I think also when it comes to NFTs, because I saw an article recently where they were talking about how NFTs have sort of pulled back. I don't know what's going on in the NFT sphere. I just know when the time is right, a lot of people are going to make a ton of money off of NFTs, not just trading NFTs, which a lot of those NFTs are going to be super rare. Listen, know what you have. Know what you have. Is there only one on earth? That's what you, if you have something and it's the only one on earth, it's valuable. You just have to know how to move it. Okay. Not financial advice. I'm just saying that's going to be something, but the creation of NFTs. And here's the thing. Those who I'm going to say this, those who work the hardest on NFTs, at least fine art NFTs, like make it the best that you could possibly make. I don't care if it's a photo, make it the best photo you've ever taken. If it's a painting, oil painting, acrylic, make it the best acrylic oil painting you've ever done in your life. Those phygital ones, physical, digital, where they buy the digital NFT, you send them the physical, that's going to be huge. Huge. I think those people are going to make a ton of money. I do. I'm just telling you my honest thoughts. And like I said, it's not going to be without a lot of hard work. OK, but I believe that the big companies know that also. They do. Listen, watch the big companies movements when NFTs start getting hot again. And if you start to see companies just buying everything in sight, it's for a reason. They're going to double, triple, quadruple their money off that. They're going to be searching for everything that's rare. Not those ones where you got like 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. No, the ones where if you see something, there's only one of it. It may be able to be moved. It's not a guarantee. I'm just saying. So I have my eye open on that also, as you know, and really just being patient, knowing that there's a moment coming where things are going to be so hot that companies, like, let's say you're a regular person, companies may buy that off of you for an exorbitant amount of money, whatever it is you have, because they have a plan. They feel like they know they can move this, and they're not just going to move it to regular people, like, oh, sell it to regular people. No, they're going to sell it to another company. I'm telling you. And then another thing that's going to be happening are a lot of museums around the world are probably going to be increasing on like their digital showings, because something is just that rare. As long as they have that code that proves it's the only one on earth, some of them are going to be buying, and they're going to have digital images. They already started that in certain places. They have the digital images on display. There's going to be more of that, so they can sell it to some digital museums as well. I mean, the future is going to be, it should be unbelievable. No guarantee in anything, of course. Okay, so then we talked a little bit about Bitcoin. We talked a little bit about XRP. Then you have stuff like this with Solana, right? So it says here, Solana's market structure mirrors Bitcoin and Ether. Solana is going to do well. The big companies want something where they know the people already love it. So if they have a DApp on Solana, if they issue a coin on Solana for their institution, like you have a lot of local digital currencies, I think are going to flow across Solana. I feel that way. Because they know a lot of people around the world already used to using Solana. That meme coin rush that Solana has felt, once again, has gotten people used to using the technology. They've gotten people to trust Solana. So if you have companies, and this has already happened, this is how we know, some companies already experimented with local digital currency that's just for the company. We've had states experiment with local digital currencies for that state. We've had towns we've observed. Same thing. OK, so what are they going to choose? Some chain that has not been tested? Some chain that hasn't, experienced stress testing at all, like in the real world environment? Or are they going to choose something that has been out there for years, works, it functions well? The people love it. The people have a good memory when they think about Solana. Meme coin. And Solana explode. They have good memories about it and good experience using it. If I'm not repeating myself, they're going to choose that. And also something that is highly scalable. They're going to choose that. Solana is bullish for all those reasons. That's why all these companies keep praising Solana. That's why all these bigwigs are pushing for Solana ETPs and ETFs, etc. It says here, Solana's market structure shows deep liquidity and strong cross-exchange price correlations, putting it on par with Bitcoin and Ethereum, bolstering Solana's case for regulatory approval of exchange-traded products in the U.S., according to new analysis co-authored by James Overdahl and Craig Lewis, former SEC chief economist. Like, look at the people that are behind Solana. While U.S. regulators have yet to greenlight a Solana ETP, the approvals of Bitcoin and Ether ETPs signal a maturing crypto market. Look at that. Look how they're talking about this. A maturing crypto market. I'm telling you. All that. There's so much old money on this side that has not stepped into crypto. They're underestimating how much of that is going to flood in once crypto is completely legitimized. It's completely legitimized, and people are looking for, I'm just telling you, listen, once again, this is from what people tell me, okay? But you don't have to believe what they say, all right? But it's on my mind. They're looking for new things to play with, all right? To keep things interesting, to diversify more and more, and they're being told to diversify. So this is not just behind the scenes. We've seen article writers talk about, well, we got to diversify now and get into crypto, and they use Bitcoin as a door opener. Then after Bitcoin, they're talking about Ethereum, and then they're talking about Solana and XRP. Which, once again, I'm very happy about it, but I'm thoroughly surprised XRP is getting that deep into these articles and conversations now, like right along with Bitcoin and Ethereum, where XRP was once not so liked in the past. OK, so that makes everything very, very bullish. So, we'll keep up with this, and we'll try to stay updated. I had like 9 articles here, but we'll do them tomorrow. I needed a little bit of a break, a little bit of a different energy where I just talk to everybody out there and just kind of share my thoughts. Okay, we'll get back to the regular style video tomorrow. But as of right now, crypto is looking insanely bullish long term. There's going to be volatility short term. You already know that. Expect it. I can't tell you how to feel. Not financial advice, but I wouldn't let anything that happens in the short term shake me up. Yes, there's catalysts that could. What is going on out there? Yes, there are catalysts that could result in a little bit of a correction, for certain things. But in my opinion, no big deal. No big deal. Things will climb once again. Long term, crypto is super bullish. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.